his effort to escape. But there's so many different parts of this that are, they've seen it before. They've seen it before. And so a lot of their actions are based off of prior experience and current behavior. And, a lot of guys, and this is the scary part. David Bauer said, if this guy kills a family, I'd surely be upset with police for not taking him into custody. And I get it. I get it. But what if pursuit causes the death of a family? Because that has happened. People have been injured in a pursuit, and that is one of the reasons why, in many cases, they pull back on these. So, it is such a fine line for law enforcement to try to stop somebody. At this point, this person is wanted for reckless driving. We don't know much else about the person, but if that car is not reported as stolen, there is the possibility that law enforcement is just waiting until the person goes home, take him into custody at that point. But it is very odd in this circumstance that this person continues to drive as recklessly as they are. Almost always when we see a chase like this and law enforcement goes into tracking mode, the person generally calms their driving a bit and kind of goes back into just following the rule of law, driving around, and eventually they stop, and that's when they're taken into custody. But this person has kind of bucked that trend in that this person has continued to drive recklessly even without law enforcement closely behind. You see there, driving into traffic, using the left turn lane for the other side. Again, using oncoming traffic's left turn lane to get around his traffic. So at this point, it does appear as if it's just one person in the vehicle. So we're just kind of, I'm watching this chase along with you and then kind of trying to read a couple of Facebook comments here and there. Someone saying, can you strategically funnel him into an area where it would make it safer to get him? LAPD should know the streets. Why not set a trap? Again, all of these questions are legitimate. Why not do that? But the thing you have to acknowledge is there's a reason why they don't do that. Number one, or one of the reasons, is he's basically driving a weapon. He has changed his behavior more aggressively and more erratically every time he sees law enforcement. So at this point, the commuters are generally safer than if this person began to feel threatened. We saw this person try to drive up on a sidewalk just simply to get around traffic at an intersection. So if you're law enforcement, you have to balance what does this person do if we box him in. And if you notice in these chases, generally speaking, law enforcement will not get directly in front of the vehicle because you're now definitely putting law enforcement lives at risk because this person could potentially just use his vehicle as a battering ram. So you have to, I get it. I understand the folks here who are saying they want it over. But you have to balance the safety of law enforcement, the safety of the commuters, because here's the thing. You try to funnel him into an area, you are also funneling the general commute into that same area. So, again, it's frustrating, but if you're putting yourself in the position of law enforcement, sometimes you're best served with the helicopter above just to follow the person, because I can assure you there's law enforcement in the area. Are they tracking him? Are they getting involved? At this point right now, no. But they are in the area, and if this person were to park and try to get out, they could be there within a minute. In all likelihood, they could be there very quickly. You're now on La Cienega. They know of this person. CHP knows of this person. So at this point, it's just clearly they feel it is safest for the community to just follow this person from above. See, when do police come and chase this individual again? Well, that is, you'd have to, there will be a commander in charge of this, clearly. And his behavior will likely cause law enforcement to either decide to re-engage or not. That's almost like predicting the future, because you know, for the folks who say this is a taxpayer waste and that it's a waste of time, I can appreciate the sentiment, but re-engaging and causing damage to innocent bystanders, if that happened, that would be a further waste. And then, you know, again, right now, as we've watched, no one has been hit by the car. Look at that. At this point, no one's been damaged by the vehicle. That could be something that might change behavior by law enforcement. If somebody was hit by this person or something like that, that might cause them to re-engage, but it's almost impossible to know. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to wrap up our coverage because we are just getting word that the only people following this suspect are television stations throughout Los Angeles. Law enforcement is no longer following this person. So we're going to wrap up our coverage. I want to thanks for all the people to engage us here on Facebook and social media, and hopefully you were able to watch on our streaming apps. But I'm Philip Palmer, and we are going to pull out of this chase for the time being. And any updates that are needed, we'll have on Eyewitness News at 3 o'clock.